Welcome back, citizens, and thank you for watching. We'd like to thank all of our patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoy our content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. In today's episode, we'll be visiting the Croshaw System and learning about its planets, features of interest, history, and lore. And that episode starts right now. The Croshaw System is a small system with a single yellow dwarf star, 4 planets, and 2 asteroid clusters within its 8 AU boundaries. Croshaw has 4 jump points. The jump points include connections to the Null System through a small bidirectional jump point, Farron through a large bidirectional jump point, Sol through a large bidirectional jump point, and Reader through a large bidirectional jump point. In 2271, after 10 years investigating the space anomaly in the Sol system known as the Neso Triangle, scientist and explorer Nick Croshaw became the first human to traverse a jump point and enter a new star system. As a tribute to his monumental accomplishment, the system he discovered would bear his name. The aftermath was a different matter. While humans had figured out how to reach the stars, they were still struggling on how to inhabit them. It was a contentious 100 years between Croshaw's discovery and when a planet in the system was terraformed. Lacking an organization to oversee expansion into the system created a plethora of issues. At first, a number of private and state-owned terraforming companies raced into Croshaw to lay claim to its planets. None of them succeeded. Each company had failed to calculate exactly how expensive it would be to continually transport supplies to maintain their operations. It was obvious that a cohesive human response was needed. But instead of focusing on a solution, countries and corporations squabbled over how land rights and mineral resources should be divided once terraforming was complete. At the same time, there was still a good deal of fear and danger around inter-system travel. Many people who entered the jump point between Croshaw and Sol vanished. With jump drive technology still in its infancy, ships had to be manually piloted between the two systems. Out of this, a new breed of pilot was born, nicknamed Jumpers. These pilots sold themselves as the only reliable way to get between the two systems and charged handsomely for their services. It was only after flight-assisted nav drives were able to utilize recorded flight paths through the jump points that jumpers changed their focus to discovering new jump points, making them the forefathers of the nav jumpers that still exist today. Amidst all the chaos and confusion, a committee appointed by the World Summit, a gathering of Earth's leaders, finally took control of expansion into the Croshaw system. The committee organized resources from various countries and companies to tackle the terraforming of Croshaw 2 and Croshaw 3, established a lottery to grant land and mineral rights once the process was complete, and most importantly, figured out how to pay for it all. The committee's masterstroke was the Freeman Act, a piece of legislation that helped fund the terraforming of Croshaw while populating it through the sale of one-way tickets. Not only were people buying passage aboard government-subsidized shuttles, they were guaranteed a place to live on the new planet. Sales were slow at first. While the public had acclimated to the notion of living on another planet, the thought of living in a new system entirely proved to be a truly scary concept. Incentive marketing initiatives and first-hand accounts from the developing system eased their fears and gradually got the public excited at the prospect. The influx of ticket sales kept the committee's terraforming fund solvent and created an entire class of people who counted down the days until they could start a new life as humanity's first interstellar settlers. The committee's successful stewardship of Croshaw convinced humanity's leaders that a cohesive voice and vision was needed to aid their ascension out to the stars. In 2380, the World Summit ended with a historic announcement that created the United Nations of Earth. For the first time, we stopped thinking of ourselves as many and started seeing ourselves as one. Croshaw 1 is a smog planet known for its colorful yellow and orange clouds. What makes this tiny planet beautiful also makes it deadly, since the dense atmosphere is highly corrosive and toxic. Croshaw 1 is uninhabitable. The planet's thick, acid-based clouds create an atmospheric mass that makes it impossible to land on. Angeli's natural beauty is as much of a marvel today as it was when it was first terraformed. The planet's biosphere is reminiscent of Earth's, featuring massive bodies of water and large expanses of land dotted by mountain ranges. Angeli's natural beauty does not come without its dangers. Geologists continue to classify the planet as a severe seismic hazard. Strict engineering codes require the buildings on the planet to have extremely thick foundations and tuned mass dampers to counteract earthquakes. Even if most of the native population is apathetic about the big one, most scientists believe it is not a question of if a large earthquake will happen, but when. Due to the seismic instability, mining is severely restricted on Angeli. Connoisseurs of fine food and spirits consider Angeli a must-stop destination. The eclectic mix of Earth's cultures and classes during the planet's early days created a unique cuisine. Angeli's trademark dish is baumbo, a thick stew usually featuring either meat or seafood. Considered a true luxury, Angeli produces some of the verse's most expensive whiskeys. Distilled and barreled on Earth, they are then sent to Angeli to complete the aging process. Bottles of Angeli whiskey sold on Earth are stamped with a special round-trip label signifying its long journey. Aficionados claim that Angeli's light, temperature, and air gives its whiskey a distinct and complex taste profile. Special facilities have been built just to store the barrels and best control their exposure to those elements. Van is far from an ideal planet for human habitation. Located on the outer edge of Croshaw's habitable zone, the planet's Arctic temperatures make it less than optimal for human habitation. Yet since mining was restricted on Angeli, terraforming Van became essential to create a source of commodities in the system. As the Empire expanded, many residents left Van for greener pastures. Geo City remains the planet's most populated city, though its most prosperous days are considered long past. All things considered, it does brisk business as an affordable tourist destination for winter sport enthusiasts. Van's night sky features a stunning curtain of colorful aurora, the result of strong solar activity reacting with the planet's magnetosphere. Inspired by this phenomenon, a burgeoning artistic culture had made a name for itself on Van. Many artists had set up studios in large, long-abandoned buildings. Some bought the real estate cheap, while others are simply squatting. The self-proclaimed Smart Van style features a minimalist aesthetic and prominent use of the colors displayed in the aurora. Planetary analysis indicates that Croshaw 4 is a super-Earth that has lost its atmosphere. After most of its resources were exhausted, locals stopped using the planet's colloquial name, and it subsequently faded from memory, a good indicator of exactly how much Croshaw 4 has left to offer. Current scientific research suggests that the Icarus and Daedalus clusters are debris left over from the system's early protoplanetary disk. Located in two Lagrange points of Croshaw 4, the clusters are some of the Empire's oldest mining fields. Centuries of prospecting mean there is little of value left here. Well, that's the Croshaw System. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more systems coming soon. We'll see you in the verse, and happy mining!